Welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we're learning some of the very basic strategies that develop our elementary learners' reading proficiency. These are simple strategies that we may be familiar with, but may not necessarily understand the strength of these strategies and how these strategies help and develop our elementary learners' reading. I'll be sharing 4 basic, simple strategies today. Strategy number 1, pre-read. Use the cover of the text or of the book. Our elementary learners should look at the cover of the book and use the title or the picture on the cover to anticipate what the text is going to be about. When you use the cover of the book, you talk about the book before reading the book. What do you see on the cover? What do you predict this book is going to be about? Who's the author of the book? As some of the tools, as some of the ways to pre-read or use the cover of the text before actually reading the book. Why is this necessary? This is a necessary strategy because by pre-reading the cover of the book, our elementary learner is able to learn how to anticipate what they'll be reading and also how to predict what the text may be about and make inferences about the book just from the title and just from the cover picture. Strategy number 2, use the pictures. Most early and emergent elementary texts are heavy on illustration and pictures. Why? Because this is a strategy. The goal is that if our elementary learners are having challenges or are struggling to decode a word as they read, using the illustrations or using the pictures in the text helps to help them decode the word and figure out the word, which in turn helps both their reading fluency, building their vocabulary bank, and also understanding and comprehending the story. Strategy number 3, use the first letter of the word. This is a very fundamental and very basic skill. Our elementary learners' reading development is dependent on their understanding of the alphabetic principle, that letters and letter pattern represents the sound of spoken language, that there are predictable relationships between letters and sounds. And then understanding these relationships and this pattern helps our elementary learner apply this principle to trying to decode words or unfamiliar words when they come across these words as they read. As our elementary learner encounters or comes across unfamiliar words, using the first letter to try to decode or figure out the word is an effective strategy that eventually helps our elementary learners' reading fluency and vocabulary. Strategy number 4, using sight words. The mastery of sight words is a very necessary and mandatory requirement that helps and strengthens our elementary learners' emergent and basic reading skills. I've spoken extensively on how sight words and the mastery of sight words helps develop our elementary learners' reading and reading proficiency. The strategy is that the more sight words that our elementary learner has memorized, the more words they are able to read and decode by sight. The goal of mastering sight words is that our elementary learners are able to read and decode words by sight rather than trying to kind of tap out the words or use chunks or use other reading strategies to figure out the words. The mastery of sight words, especially grade level sight words, helps to increase the overall vocabulary and word bank of our elementary learner, and also helps to develop and strengthen our elementary learners' reading fluency and overall reading comprehension. To help us, I have created a chart with these reading strategies. Please visit my website to download a copy of this chart. Thank you. See you in the next lesson.